Here we go then. Kris Hampson to break us off, and if anybody's shirt told us exactly how they play, I'd say Kris Hampson and 𝗏𝗏 Parkin, pretty accurate and spot on, really. Explosion and lightning, which sum up these two and how they play pretty perfectly. Scotch frame to start us off. It's another dry break to start us off as well. This table has not been affording many opportunities to our pairings so far tonight. I was thinking there a moment ago, Si, that what you said about Kris and 𝗏 having very similar styles, it's almost like 𝗏's a slightly, I don't know how to put this, almost like a slightly more evolved Pokemon, basically. Like they're in the same sort of tree of all the attributes and everything that they possess together. 𝗏's just a little bit further along the road in terms of consistency and success, but they both basically play the same game.
Yeah, I think that there's something in that for sure. I think even when you play the way that Kris plays, you've still got to try and find patterns and the way to make the game as easy as possible for yourself, but know that you've got that crazy shot or the ability to recover in the locker, but you don't want to be having to use that frame after frame after frame. And I think that's where 𝗏's probably a little bit further ahead in terms of the game right now than Kris is, just simply because he's got the ability to churn out, finish after finish, and a lot of them are actually, he makes it quite simple, but you remember the eye-catching ones, you remember the crazy moments, which he's got in the locker, but he does have the ability to play, great patterns and great decisions more than Kris at the moment, and that's what I'd like to see Kris kind of really focus on, is be aggressive, but be aggressive in the right way.
Well, it's he and Linda who are being aggressive right now. That's no surprise. It's exactly what we thought they would do. And they are chasing one here. They're chasing one pretty well so far, but they need to free a red in the middle of the table, and at the moment it goes absolutely nowhere. Also, interestingly, welcome to a shot clock, Amy Price. I can't imagine she's played on a shot clock all that many times in her sort of short career with Ultimate Pool. And the very first one almost catching her out, but she recovered pretty well. Reds run aground then.
Yeah, Kris making the decision to take the double to try and open up the red that was awkward. I'm not sure if that red went top left anyway. It maybe could have gone bottom right and just pulled it back. It would have had to really jack up to do that, come back an extra 6 inches straight in top left then. Potentially, may not have gone, but certainly trying to find a finish there. And you've given 𝗏 the big build-up that he's super aggressive.
Look at that.
First shot of the table's a safety shot.
Who are you and what have you done with 𝗏 the Power Parkin? I like the choice of shot though, must say it's given Reds not much to go at, but also has given them something to go at. I think that's part of the strategy, really. I think 𝗏 is dangling carrots. Brucey bonus.
Yeah, this red does go bottom left as well. It would have been better if the red over the top left had stayed on, but it hasn't. Could be another double from Kris, or he could take the one down the table. Definitely a chance here, though. This is a big shot, because if he can get right behind the one at the top, like that was hit like a dream.
Yeah, can't cue them any better than that. And there's a gap here, and I think there's a small angle for Linda to use as well, just to track the gap between the yellow and the 8-ball towards that red.
I don't think she needs to do anything other than hold the white here, because you want loads of angle on the next shot.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, all you're doing there is bringing it down the line that you'd have been on. I actually think it would have been slightly easier to hold it straight, because you'd be slightly thicker on it. A little bit thinner now because it's come more to the right-hand side. So good positional shot required here from Kris.
Oh, he's cued that well. Played a couple of beauties in this opening frame as Kris Hampson comes back on the inside of the 8-ball. And Linda's had a good look to see if this tracks in. You'd hope so.
Well, he's played for it in his pocket, isn't he?
Absolutely.
Has to go.
It is tight, but in it goes. Very good. That is a super little finish from Linda Haycox and Kris Hampson, and they're off to a flyer.
It started with a fluke, but the couple of shots that Kris played in there were brilliant. The cueing, that shows what he can do out there. Obviously, we've talked about, you know, criticism of is he too aggressive and things like that, but the two shots he played were absolutely fabulous in that little mini clearance.
Yeah, agreed. Didn't do a lot wrong, really, Phil Parkin and Amy Price in that frame.
He'll tell you that's why he doesn't play safe. Played safe, got a fluke against him, and that was the end of the frame.
Oh, great break from Amy. But again, not for the first time tonight. No friends out there. Had one successful break tonight, just one. And we're a good way into our second match. Kris, naturally, will take reds on. You know what he's going to do. The next question then becomes, where are his problems? And the one closest to the right centre pocket appears to be the most pressing of those.
Does it come bottom right once you get rid of the one on the cushion? In which case you want to get on that next, get it out of the way, and then work your way back around.
Yeah, you can see there, it's that one ball that he really wants to get on, but it's the ball below it that's the key to the frame, essentially, in getting out of the way first. And he's on it as well as he can be. Oh, got that one a long way wrong. And I think you see the spin there on the cue ball. Great camera angle to capture it. I think he had to turn it.
Yeah, he wasn't on it. There's no way you play it like that. He was obviously trying to hold it as well, but if you're on it, you're just dropping it in. You're on the one top left, and you can work your way back around. So yeah, it wasn't quite on it, which you'll be disappointed with. Tricky here for Amy, but I think that she probably does need to just try and find a finish, because the safety isn't great and every yellow does go. So it's can you piece it together? There's one ball to really land on, the rest are all fairly comfortable. And that's the one on the right hand side. To get there from here, want to land pretty straight on the one to right centre. So this, she takes the one top right corner now, pull it back, what, 6 inches or so, but you have to get to the straight. If you come up short of straight, you can't get there. I think she's short of straight, and she needed another couple of inches back. Well, yeah, she's really pinched a pocket. That's a better shot than it looked. Still could have done with coming forward another, what, 2 rolls, maybe 1 roll. But you're on this, just got to cue it in. But if you're straighter on it, then it's so much easier, because you're just dropping it in and you don't have to do anything with the cue ball.
Looked composed so far as Amy Price. Oh, that's a dream. What a super shot that is.
Just that slight off angle. She's on the one to right centre, but it's taking her up the table. And the other 2 yellows don't come down bottom right. So
I think the one furthest right, can you cut that back? Swing your way around to a similar-ish position you're in now. It's nothing easy.
I think you can go up and down the table and get to below them on the right-hand side. Just got the line wrong. That's the sort of shot I was thinking, but wanted to just come down a little bit more on the gap side. So in trouble now.
Yeah, tough.
And it all stemmed from that shot to top right, where she didn't quite get back straight, which then left her off straight, which then left her the wrong side. And it's just really, really subtle.
What's Amy looking at here? More of a containing shot than anything else there.
Left Kris pretty good here as well. Just drop this in the centre. You're on the one top right, which is your only problem ball, and the rest is there in front of you.
Yeah, tough to find any real form of safety from the position that Amy was in. I think she's just in the end tried to tie the 8-ball up a little bit, which, you know, about all you can really do in that position. Just goes to show, though, that this game is a really hard game sometimes. Looked really composed out there, played some excellent shots. Not always enough.
I think he was trying to get to the one nearest bottom left, because that would have just given him a little bit more control. I think he's there. If not, he's got to go bottom right, which means he's then got to find the line with the cue ball. No, he's on this one bottom left, so it should be fairly simple from here.
Looks very sharp tonight, does Kris, I must say.
Yeah, he's cueing well tonight.
Very small sample size, of course, but
to be fair, it's very rare we don't see him cue really, really well. He just sometimes gets himself down some tough paths and then can't recover, but very rare you see him not cue well, play well and strike it well.
(2-0). Excellent start from Kris Hampson and Linda Haycox. I know from speaking to the pair of them before they get going tonight that Linda was definitely the nervier of the two. That's to be expected. Much less experienced than Kris on this particular stage. But it's interesting to compare from when we saw Linda last year to when we saw Linda almost the same sort of time, really, this. And there is definitely an element of familiarity and composure. A few less nerves flying around. 2-0 up in the partnership. It frees her up here. She should be able to play with a lot of freedom.
Well, I was about to say...
Not that much, though.
Her job here isn't necessarily to win the frame. I know that sounds strange, but 2-0 up, 8 minutes to play. You're taking on Phil Parkin. It's probably kill as much clock as you possibly can and then get the job done in the Scotch frame to follow. Now, if you can win the frame, great. But going in off on the first shot is a potential huge problem, although it hasn't really opened up that kindly here for Phil, who has played one shot so far in the match, and that was a safety shot. So this will he'll feel like a very slow start.
Always a line there. We've had 7 breaks. 7. And I think just about everyone here tonight has had a break. Apart from Phil, actually. 1 successful. Just 1.
Yeah, so we say it's a huge advantage to have the break. Not tonight.
And Phil has played another safety shot. His safety shot percentage here, 66% on the evening.
He's got to weigh up the situation. 840 and 2-0 down. He plays the next 3 frames with the next one being a Scotch. So he's got the match in his kind of control, if you like, in terms of it's on his cue now, but...
Excellent shot.
How much time can he waste to win this tactical exchange? I think the safety shot was the right thing to do because there's no finish on. But he's got some match monitoring to do for sure here.
And this again we saw this from Karl Sutton in the last match. This is match play from Phil. He wants to try and bait Linda here into maybe not necessarily taking a finish on, but making Phil's finish a little bit easier.
But this is why I said at the beginning of the frame, Linda's job here, to me, is not win this frame. If you can win it, great, you're going to win the match. But the more you can take off the clock here in this frame, the better.
Oh, was concentrating so much on sliding that yellow past the other one that she lost the line in the cue ball.
And that's why, you know, in saying taking time off the clock, for me, potting there, and unless Linda's completely confident of making the finish, which she may well have been, you know, but unless you are, potting a ball there was the wrong thing to do. You could just leave the cue ball on the bottom cushion and you're leaving nothing on the reds. and you killed another 30 seconds off the clock. You know, just that's the job here.
Yeah, I think that's well worked out from Phil. He tried about 3 or 4 different sort of positions with the cue ball there, and then thought, actually, I can make this really easy. And it couldn't have come out much better for him, really. He's in good shape here.
He'd love to have been straighter on the one to bottom left.
15-second shot clock now.
Oh, that's so good. Kills it in. Like, really kills it in. Incredible.
It just died, didn't it, when it touched that red? There's such good work with the cue ball. He is a phenomenally gifted cueist, is Phil. Really does get through the ball beautifully.
And slightly different to Amy previously, this time he does want this angle because he wants just to naturally let the cue ball come out without having to overhit it. Whereas Amy wanted to keep it on the right-hand side, he wants it to pop out. But he misses the ball. Can you believe that?
Oh, you don't see many of those.
Did not see that coming, I've got to be honest.
And all I hear about is how big these pockets are. Key transitional shot for Linda. Oh, had to avoid the middle pocket. That could be a massive moment.
All 3 visits, or 3 or 4 visits to the table, she's gone in off. God, she avoids the in off there. What an opportunity to go ahead and win the match.
Well, it's match over, really, isn't it?
It would be, yeah.
Huge, huge moment, and 3.5 minutes left. More than enough time for Phil and Amy to recover the situation. Phil rattles off that frame in next to no time. That was always going to happen from that position. And, well, the Power gets away with one, it must be said. 3.5 minutes. He will play a part in the next 2 frames. 1 Scotch and 1 singles. With the chance to steal the game away.
I said at the beginning of the frame that Linda's job there was to run clock. You know, it wasn't necessarily the way I was expecting it to happen, but she has run over 5 minutes off the clock and actually done a good job for the partnership. It now comes down to the Scotch frame. If they get to the table, same thing, run the clock. Unless they're all on, run the clock.
So just in case you weren't sure what they should do, run that clock. Phil Parkin is cut breaking. And he's going to scratch top left off a cut break, can you believe it? And it was dry. What is the table turning up for us tonight?
Yeah, but it's now Kris at the table, and I'm saying run clock. He's only thinking about one thing and one thing only, and that's making the clearance here. And these yellows are simple, apart from one ball that's actually awkward to get to. Reds aren't terrible. You've got that little conundrum on the left-hand side, so it's decision time, really. I think yellows are the set, but you've got to play one really good shot.
I think for that reason, I think just in a Scotch frame in particular, I liked reds here. But I think if it was Kris playing by himself, yellows all day. But I think these two play very, very different cue balls, and they're going to require a very good one to land on that yellow.
Yeah, weirdly, it's a layout that you can't really run the clock. You wanted a cluster, you wanted a problem, something you can just let be a problem.
Oh, that was a problem going out that way. I think you had to play to land on that. Bumping it was a risk. And now they've got a shot to play. It's come out all right. Could have come out worse. One good shot away from being back in position, but it's not forthcoming. That was a very missable yellow. And Amy Price and Phil Parkin with the chance to level it, with maybe even some time left on the clock too.
They didn't have an opening pot though. That was very fortunate to not leave a red on there.
Has Amy left a yellow on? She might have just done the same back to Kris and Linda here. It's a double. It's a double that misses. And now they're all there. Now you go on reds.
Phil might be able to play on the awkward ball at the top of the table here. He tried to. Wanted to slide past that. Made it more awkward.
1 minute and 7 seconds to play. This match is very much not over yet. Kris and Linda hanging on for a draw. Hanging on for the win, rather. Phil and Amy desperate for the draw.
That was a big shot because the pot was on. If she makes the pot there, that's over.
She's left the reds. Oh, Phil not taking it. Going to work at the bottom first.
Yeah, but the red at the top isn't as bad now because the yellow's moved, so there is actually a place to get onto that ball.
Well, they're on it when Phil came to the table. Yeah. But they're obviously leaving it till last. Don't mind it.
Keep that in beautifully.
Pretty good shot, that.
Too straight.
This is where you need Phil's cueing. Needs to get Amy on this ball. 20 seconds left, and he's done just that. 2 good pots away from tying it.
I think she's worried about snookering Phil here.
Just give him a shot. 10 seconds left. This 8-ball for a draw. Was it ever in doubt? Cue ball's going to stay up. Phil the power with the buzzer beater. And he and Amy Price nick a point at the end of the match. And you can see how pleased they are with that one. Amy Price's very first ever TV game. And she's gone and got herself a buzzer beater. Welcome to the Ultimate Pool Monday Nights, Amy Price. It's a point that's shared between those two and Kris Hampson and Linda Haycox.